So Moses Itauma beats Jermaine Franklin. All of a sudden, everybody thinks he destroys Oleksandr Usyk. I just want to pump the brakes a little bit on that kind of a talk, because as much as I like Moses Itauma and Fabio Wardley and stuff, we need to keep putting respect on Usyk's name. And I'm not saying Usyk can't lose to Moses Itauma. No, this guy's very good. But he beat Jermaine Franklin. He was a minus 2,000 favorite. 5th round KO. Super cool, super nice, you know. But let's pump the brakes a little bit. Because as great as Moses Itauma is, and he did beat Dillian White, but as great as he is, I don't think he's the guy to beat Oleksandr Usyk just yet. But at only 21, boy, let me tell you something. This guy's a problem. This guy is a absolute problem. Jermaine Franklin, not the best name to have on your resume. Let's be honest here. And there's other heavyweights out there that could have been a better win for him. The Dillian White one was okay. He knocked him out in one, though. But other than that, like Jermaine Franklin, so what? You know, Franklin's not particularly a great boxer. He does basic things. I don't think this is a sign that he is of the future, though. I can't put my hat to that. I liked the attack, though, that Moses Itauma brought. Okay. And it's the same one that we talked about with Dillian White, and we've talked about him before. It's the same attack. He likes a jab, so he leads with a jab. As a southpaw, that's great. You know, as a southpaw, he likes to jab, and he'll throw it to the body, and then he'll come behind with a cross to the body or cross up top. So he does a good job changing levels a lot. And those transition lead to the feints that you always jab. He's like throwing them up top and down below. And it really does confuse his opponents. And it confuses Dillian White. It confuses Balgoon. It confuses Jermaine Franklin on this night. And that approach is really kind of what he builds everything off of. You watch him, and he starts with the jab. He starts with a jab to the body, then he'll come up top. He's trying to get him to lower his hands, and it works. Obviously, I'm tired of getting punched in the body. So what do? Maybe I just block the body. That leaves your head open. Duh. And once he starts throwing those feints, that's where he's trying to overload you. And he wants to catch you with something big. And this wasn't really played off from that, but it still kept Jermaine Franklin kind of at bay. Like, hey, I'm trying to slow you down here, guy. It kept him at bay. But the finish, man, the finish was fantastic. Boy, I mean, the way he set that up, because he threw the uppercut, the rear left uppercut. He's a southpaw, don't forget. The way he set that up was beautiful. He threw it a couple times during the fight, but this one, he's pushing Jermaine Franklin to the ropes, trying to, hey, come at me, bro. Come on. I'm pressuring. Then he steps back in the finishing sequence in round 5. He steps back. And Jermaine Franklin's like, oh, now's my time to go. And as Jermaine Franklin comes, boom. Big ol' uppercut, puts him down and out for the count. I mean, and Ituma's so fast, he caught him with a right hook as he was falling, but you saw his head like kind of boom, hit the ground. Like, it was a pretty ugly finish. That was beautiful. The way he pushes him forward, and then he steps back, says, okay, I'm giving you space. Come take it. And Itauma takes it. Not Itauma, I'm sorry. Jermaine Franklin takes the space. And Itauma says, I walked you under this uppercut. You know, Franklin, I mean, Usyk's not going to come straight at him. You know, he's not going to let an uppercut like that get through. He might, but he's not going to let an uppercut get through. It was very good boxing. Very fun boxing. And again, that's kind of what these mismatches are about. I just have a hard time, though, guys, like, thinking that he is he is obviously the next generation at heavyweight. Now, not only 21 years old, there's names out there like, Fabio Wardley. That's another fun fight for him. But, like, there's Agent Caballel. There's Richard Torres, maybe. I mean, I might be a little biased with that because American, obviously. But he has a boogeyman in front of him. There's Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua he could fight, maybe. Wilder, if Wilder doesn't, I don't know. He's fighting Chisora this weekend, which is horrible, but we'll talk about that later this week. Man, I don't know where he sits at heavyweight right now, and like Jermaine Franklin doesn't do anything for that. Keeps you active, gets you like a finish, sure, but it doesn't let us know where you sit in the division. You know, a lot of people are like calling for him to beat Usyk, and we hinted at this at the top of the show. I really don't think he's a threat to Oleksandr Usyk right now. Obviously, Usyk's going to fight Rico Verhoeven, which is the kickboxing world champion guy, in front of the pyramids of Giza, which is kind of cool. I can't lie. But at only 21, he can be a threat. If Usyk puts this off another 2 years. You know, I know he's almost 40 and his time in the game's limited. But if Usyk does put this off for too long, like, this guy's going to be a problem for him. He's going to give him hard times, you know. But I do want to see, like, in our last video, we talked about Moses Itauma, man. Like, how do I best put this? Like, he hasn't gone past 6 rounds. This was round 5, and he did noticeably slow. Granted, Jermaine Franklin slowed a lot more. He did a good job of the body work there, yeah. But I don't know where he sits because I don't know what happens when he's drugged deep. And when a fighter like Tyson Fury can drag you deep, or Daniel Dubois, Agent Caballero can drag some people in some dark, deep water, you know. Joseph Parker's been there. He's fought heavy hitters. I think he beats some of those guys. I think he can lose to some of those guys. And that's where, like, the matchmaking stuff kind of comes into play because, like, your promoter's not going to guide you to Tyson Fury right now. That's a dangerous fight. But if he can go in there and beat a Tyson Fury, it's like, hey, I am undeniable. I'm him. I'm next. You know, because you got Fabio Wardley out there deserving his title shot. Agent Caballero of all of them. You know, Zhang could give him a hard time. You want to see him fight somebody, an Anthony Joshua, a Joseph Parker, the Tyson Fury, who's has a fight coming up in a couple weeks. You want to see Moses Itauma fight somebody like that, because that is what's most difficult. That is what's so hard for him. And that's why I can't sit here and tell you guys, like, oh, he beats Oleksandr Usyk right now, because we just don't know. Like, you're supposed to eliminate a minus 2,000 favorite guy. Like, you're supposed to just go in there and style on him, and he did. Jermaine Franklin had 2 losses before his earlier in his career, like not long ago, within the last 6 fights, if I'm not mistaken. I quite like Ituma. 14-0, 21 years old, 12 knockouts. But what does he look like when he has somebody that's crafty? That's not scared of a southpaw. It's not scared of somebody that's a little bit faster than them and can slow the fight down. What happens when Tyson Fury starts leaning on him, right? What happens then? Or when Joshua, I don't know if he actually has a hard time with Anthony Joshua, if I'm being honest with you guys. But yeah, what happens then? That's the hard part. And that's about these fights. It's kind of like, I'm not super impressed because it was what it is. So, yeah, anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Right here's the playlist. Y'all get it. That's our show. Every week we talk about the biggest fights. We got Chisora and Wilder. We'll do a preview on that, which it's not going to be a technical preview, but we're going to be talking trash about these guys and why they're still fighting at this point in time. Yeah, so join, subscribe, like. You guys are the best.